Hey everybody, the ocean is an amazing place. The marine ecosystem is known for its magnificent beauty and biodiversity, being rich in unique animals such as sea otters, birds, and seals. However, there is a horrible threat facing this environment, one that could change the oceans forever. It caused the degradation of mammals, fish, and birds residing in the area, leaving detrimental effects in every part of the water it touches. This issue is oil spills. What causes oil spills? Essentially, oil spills happen whenever there is a substantial release of crude oil or unrefined petroleum into a large body of water, ranging from lakes to, most commonly, oceans.
Oil floats on salt water and normally on fresh water too. When oil is released onto a surface of water, it quickly spreads out to it due to its extremely hydrophobic nature and covers an extremely large surface area.
The water and oil combine to form an oil slick, a very thin layer of oil floating on water that gets stuck in the feathers and fur of animals.
Oil harms nearly every organism that comes in contact with it. It sticks to the feathers and fur of birds and sea mammals, such as sea otters and seagulls, ones often used for insulation. This results in these animals dying from hypothermia due to not having sufficient protection from the cold and extreme conditions that they live in.
When an oil spill occurs, thousands upon thousands of birds and other mammals wash up onto the shore, dead from the effects of this man-made disaster.
Another large problem comes from animals ingesting the oil. Oil is very toxic and often kills the animals if there is a high buildup of it in the body. The introduction of oil into an area always has detrimental effects, oftentimes killing the ecosystem as a whole as the food chain collapses around it. The introduction of this toxic substance into the food chain contributes significantly to an already apparent issue called biological magnification, the increasing of a substance such as a toxic chemical in organisms at successfully higher levels in the food chain.
Trophic levels increase, the density of toxic substances found in crude oil, such as mercury and formaldehyde, increase too, until eventually at the top of the food chain there is a dangerously high amount of the toxin which can even hurt humans if we eat those animals.
Oil spills can happen due to several reasons: malfunctions or mistakes in oil shipping equipment, degradation of equipment, natural disasters, or even purposeful acts of terrorism or illegal dumpers. The effects of oil are extremely detrimental to the ecosystems that it enters. So you may be thinking, why not just get rid of oil altogether? Simply put, oil is too essential in our everyday lives to completely remove the use of it. Oil is used in almost all products, from plastics to makeup. In addition, it is one of the primary energy sources used in the world, as oil, along with natural gas and coal, contribute 78% of all the energy used across the globe. Oil is also extremely abundant, chemically stable, and very energy compact, making it a perfect option for cheap, easily accessible energy.
Spills can happen in any large body of water, most often in oceans. One of the most recent and most tragic spills happened in Florida in 2010. Off the coast, an oil rig exploded and killed 11 people, and the result leaked 133 million gallons of the oil into the Gulf of Mexico. Only about 20% of the oil was actually recovered, and there was an estimated death of 82,000 birds, 62,000 sea turtles, and 26,000 marine animals, although these numbers could be 4 to 11 times higher.
This spill by itself shows the absolutely abysmal effect that this man-made catastrophe has on the environment, and estimates put an annual death toll of 20,000 birds from oil spills alone. So why don't we just clean up the oil, if its effects are clearly this detrimental? Well, a common myth associated with oil spills is that they can be cleaned up. In reality, all of the efforts to remove oil from the oceans are almost always futile, sometimes causing more harm than good than leaving the disaster be. As Scott Boss, a writer who worked with the Florida spill in 2010, wrote, despite enlisting 10,000 cleanup workers, 1,000 boats, 100 aircraft, and spending $2.1 billion over a period of 4 years, Exxon was able to clean up just 10% of the spill. Most experts say the cleanup effort did more harm than good. This is why the best way to prevent the effects of oil spills is to just keep them from happening at all. Currently, there are many volunteer organizations that enlist people to help clean up the oil spills, as well as the raising of millions of dollars to contribute to their efforts. Much research is also being put into the use of bacteria, such as Alcanivirax bergamensis, a microorganism that breaks down the petroleum for energy, making cleanup significantly easier. As a high school student, the largest effect you can have on the effort would be to volunteer to clean up, reduce your use of plastics and energy, or even contribute in the research of solutions pertaining to the prevention of the disaster as a whole. The task of eliminating oil spills is a daunting one, but with the effort put in by people all over the globe, it is more than possible and will save our oceans from complete destruction.